typical case where it is related to an import and export industry, the clients and all. But yeah, so it was more from import and export industry. So what we saw is in the system in transaction monitoring, a lot of alerts used to generate on this particular customer for a large reportable transaction typology. So it used to be large transactions. So that was also not our concern, but these transactions were happening to a high risk countries frequently to the counterparties. And these counterparties, which were situated in high risk countries, were making a lot of payments to this particular customer as well, who is involved in electronic import and export business. We started getting alerts, our team started investigating it, and then when we started doing due diligence on this, we identified some of these counterparties sitting in these high risk countries do not have any kind of physical presence. It's came to be known only when we did a very thorough investigation. We reached out to the customer through the RFI request to asking a lot of information while we were doing investigation. We found that eventually on the same address there are different companies. The same companies being registered in a same address where there were when they inquired and checked it with physical visits and all, we couldn't find those companies at all. So though they were existing on paper, they were more like a shell companies. So the and backtracking all this to the transactions from where it originated and why this customer was doing. For example, some of the transactions, being an electronic company, he was trying to pay for the invoices from these counterparties for buying palm oils, which is nowhere being used in these electronic companies and gadgets and all. So it was not making sense even in the line of business. There were a lot of red flags for these large transactions, then rapid movement of fund, moving this transaction out of his account after he receives the funds, migrating it to different countries. So all this was suspicious, and even then, as a protocol in compliance space, we generally do not arrive at a conclusion, right, until we have a lot of evidences and all. So when our investigation team finally found that the customer is also not supportive, is not collaborating with us when we are doing investigation, we asked a lot of documentation, the reasons for transaction. So it was not at all comfortable to share any of the information. So that was itself a big red flag for us in addition to what we had. So that is when we filed a suspicious report. It went on to the central bank and FIUs, and after a long investigation process, it was found to be accurate, and we had to exit and offboard that customer relationship with the bank.
Yeah, here there's one question because you mentioned that you went there to physically verify the business, but in general, that is the actually the process of LEA because